You know, people think losing everything is the worst thing that can happen to you. They imagine destruction, chaos, fear, despair. And yes, all of that is true. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes losing everything is the first moment you truly see your life for what it is. That's what happened to me. A man who thought he had everything. A job, a home, a relationship, a future that looked stable from the outside. I was the kind of person people looked at and said, he's doing well, he's got it figured out. But deep inside, I was empty, exhausted, disconnected from myself, from the people around me, from anything that felt real. I didn't know it then. I didn't even suspect it. I was too busy living the life I was supposed to live, not the one I wanted. And then one day, everything fell apart.
I still remember the moment my life collapsed. Not like an explosion, not dramatic. It was quiet, too quiet. It started with my job, a job I had given 15 years of my life to. Long nights, early mornings, missed birthdays, missed holidays, missed everything that makes life feel like life. I was loyal, reliable, the kind of employee who doesn't complain, the kind of man who silently carries weight no one even knows exists. But loyalty means nothing when a company decides numbers matter more than people. I walked into a meeting thinking we were going to discuss future plans. I walked out without a job, without a position, without the identity I had built for myself. 15 years, gone in 15 minutes. I remember walking to my car. I sat inside. I didn't start the engine. I didn't cry. I just sat, staring at my hands. And for the first time in years, they were shaking. I knew something inside me had cracked, but I didn't know the earthquake was just beginning.
Losing my job was bad, but losing her, that was worse. My partner of 8 years, the woman I thought I would marry, the person I had built my future around. She told me she needed space. She told me she felt detached. She told me she wasn't sure if she loved me the way she used to. But the truth was simpler. She had been drifting away long before I noticed, and I had been too busy to see it. Too busy proving myself at work. Too busy surviving instead of living. Too busy holding everything together except my relationship. When I told her I lost my job, she didn't hug me. She didn't say, "We'll get through this." She looked relieved, as if my collapse gave her permission to leave. She moved out 2 weeks later. I watched her pack her things, her clothes, her books, her scent, her presence, her warmth. My life emptied out box by box. When the door closed behind her, that's when I realized I had truly lost everything. People imagine breakdowns as loud moments, shouting, punching walls, screaming into the void. Mine wasn't like that. It was quiet, silent, like a slow leak. I woke up one morning in the apartment I had lived in for years, and nothing felt familiar. The furniture felt foreign. The walls felt distant. The rooms felt abandoned. I felt abandoned. I sat at the edge of my bed, and for the first time in my adult life, I said out loud, "I don't know who I am anymore." Not, "I'm sad," not, "I'm stressed," not, "This is hard," but, "I don't know who I am." That's when everything truly broke. Losing everything leaves you with something you don't expect: space. A strange, terrifying, uncomfortable space. No job to distract you, no partner to lean on, no identity to hide behind, no routine to follow. Just you. Only you. And when you're alone with yourself, you see everything. The lies you told yourself, the fears you buried, the dreams you abandoned, the pain you never healed, the version of you that's been calling out for years. At first, that space felt like a punishment. Then it became a mirror. Then it became a beginning. One morning, I woke up, and instead of lying in bed feeling nothing, I stood up. Not because I was strong, not because I was brave, but because staying on the floor hurt more than trying. I walked outside. Just walked. No destination, no purpose, just movement. I felt the air. I felt the sun. I felt my heart beat. I felt alive for the first time in months. It was small, but it was real. I kept walking every day. Then I started reading again, books I never had time for, ideas I never allowed myself to explore. I cooked for myself, simple meals, but meals made with intention, not exhaustion. I cleaned my apartment, not out of obligation, but out of care. I called people I hadn't spoken to in years, not because I needed something, but because I missed connection. And slowly, very slowly, I began to feel something that had been missing for years. Me.
Here's the truth no one tells you. You don't really lose everything. You lose what wasn't serving you. You lose what was weighing you down. You lose the pieces that hid your truth. You lose the life you built out of fear, expectation, habit, and survival. When all of that is gone, what's left is the foundation of who you really are. That's what happened to me. Underneath the job, the relationship, the image, the expectations, I found the real man. A man who wasn't living. A man who was functioning, performing, pleasing, enduring, but not living. Losing everything forced me to confront that truth, and that confrontation was the moment my life began.
I didn't rebuild my old life. I built a new one. I found a new job, one that didn't consume me, one that felt purposeful, one where I wasn't just a machine. I met new people, not to fill a void, but to connect with intention. I rebuilt relationships with my family, not out of guilt, but out of genuine love. I started therapy, not because I was broken, but because I wanted to grow. I learned how to be alone, not lonely, but whole. I started taking care of my body, walking, lifting, breathing. I let my beard grow. I let my mind breathe. I let my heart rest. And slowly, life began to feel like mine. Not borrowed. Not inherited. Not expected. Mine. I wouldn't wish losing everything on anyone. It's painful, terrifying, destabilizing. It shakes you to the core. But sometimes that's what you need. To wake up, to break open, to see what's underneath, to start again. I lost everything. My job, my partner, my plans, my identity. But in losing all of that, I finally found myself. And that was the beginning of my life. Thank you for listening.